When you first start to implement pull in your organization, it can be beneficial to do so with an infrastructure much like a lean organization. While no infrastructure will exist and be perfect right from the start, the infrastructure that we will share in this lecture will be a good starting point for you. You can then pivot from there and move forward. Keep in mind that even before an improvement structure is in place, daily 5S should be occurring, and everyone should have an understanding of waste as well as has been involved in some type of improvement activity. This will really help make the changes visible. Once this starts, an infrastructure can be laid out. Many companies choose to implement as part of their infrastructure a place where improvements can be promoted. Some people call this a continuous improvement team, a lean improvement team, or any other name that you feel is appropriate. This team's core function is to support improvement activities, train others, and continue to keep the lean strategy alive. On the screen, you will see an example of how your lean infrastructure might start. As you look at it, take note that the individuals from the very top of the organization all the way to the front lines are immersed in continuous improvement education, and in our case, in pull system education. This will help when implementing your strategy. Over the next few modules, we will briefly introduce key roles, the improvement team's den, improvement time, improvement meetings, improvement lists, the Gemba, and Kaizen events. So, we'll see you in the next module. When creating an infrastructure to support your efforts in continuous improvement, the best method is to ensure everyone is on board, trained, and capable of improving everything. But this inevitably makes things a bit challenging. Establishing infrastructure and key roles can be very valuable. If you have not already established critical roles for your infrastructure, there are a few things to keep in mind. Firstly, you'll want to identify what roles are needed. In doing this, you may consider establishing a core team for your efforts, specialists, someone to market the strategy, as well as having people who can direct the strategy from a high level, while those on the front line execute. In addition, fresh eyes can be a real benefit. This is where consultants, coaches, and trainers come in handy. Once you decide what your company will need, then you can begin selecting the appropriate people to help with implementation. You may find that a great deal of employees are leading improvements in various ways. If so, it is always a good idea to formalize their job roles as part of their job description and share the changes with everyone else. Establishing key roles and responsibilities will help you as the journey progresses and you work to implement pull systems. Lean, Six Sigma, and pull systems are all great strategies to implement. And once they are implemented, you need a place, a cave, or a headquarters that teams can operate from. Traditionally, this place was called a promotion office, Lean Promotion Center, or a Kaizen office. This centralized location is mainly a place where improvement team meetings can be held and ideas shared. This Kaizen or Lean Promotion Office is a place where the internal team drives the strategic efforts forward. They can do this by coaching, teaching, training, and implementing lean philosophies, tools, and techniques throughout the entire organization. The promotion office, where a dedicated improvement team resides, is here. This team is the main resource and drivers that facilitate the change of culture and thinking within the organization in terms of challenging how work is done from the strategic level all the way down to the Gemba. It is an integral part of a successful implementation. While some may see a lean promotion office as an expense, it will undoubtedly turn into a cost saver and more than likely a place where value is added. When the improvement team is properly trained, coached, and supported, they can use quick improvements that will help build momentum in your strategy, as well as achieve sustainable results over a longer period of time. Regular communication and coordination of activities can be powerful for everyone. This is true in business like it is in strategy. Whether you are holding daily huddles or once-a-week meetings, communicating is a powerful way to keep strategy and actions moving forward. Let's look at both of these types of communication methods a little closer. The first one we will look at is improvement meetings. All teams can find great benefits in meeting with one another at least weekly. They can share their progress, struggles, and accomplishments. In these meetings, team members may also choose to brainstorm ideas, assign action items, or suggest new opportunities for improvements. Meetings can be especially beneficial when kaikaku, or breakthrough improvements, are in progress. Keep in mind that while weekly meetings certainly will help with success, they are not the goal of Lean, Six Sigma, or pull system implementation. The goal is always to improve. With this in mind, you must remember that meetings should not be excessive, drawn out, or overly detailed. They should be as short as possible. You may plan to have your improvement meetings at the start of your day. Huddles are another very effective way to communicate. A huddle is an action by a team to strategize, support, and motivate one another towards accomplishing or aligning objectives and goals. Huddles are typically held before an activity takes place. Huddles can be held in any area or department of an organization. They do not need specific rooms, just a format to conduct the huddle. The main difference between a huddle and a meeting is both how it is conducted and the amount of time the huddle takes compared to a meeting. Huddles can be performed in under 7 minutes. 4 key topics should be answered in a huddle. First, what did you accomplish? Next, what do you need to do? Then, is there anything preventing you from doing that today? And finally, assign actions. And that's it. Huddles and meetings as they relate to pull system implementation. We'll see you in the next module. Every organization wants to make improvements, but most organizations don't have the time or resources to make continuous improvements. Managing improvement time is an important part of the improvement process. So, how do organizations do this? Well, the answer is very similar in the sense that it will be unique to your specific needs at your organization. With this in mind, we will provide you with some general guidance that will help you along this journey. A lot of people will start with daily 5-minute 5S time. What this means is that 5 to 10 minutes of every day is devoted for every individual to sorting, setting in order, shining, standardizing, and of course sustaining the changes every day. Other organizations who feel that they can't make enough impact in 5 to 10 minutes a day will begin with daily improvement time of 1 hour a day. The biggest challenge of this 1 hour time span is in planning your improvements in advance and in training your employees to root out waste and create countermeasures. We will discuss more of this as time goes on. We are of the opinion that these hourly and daily formats are the improvement methods that gather the most momentum for an organization. Nonetheless, if none of these improvements work, improvement days that occur weekly may be another option. Improvement days can be structured weekly so that teams can take one full day a week to further implement POL, Lean, Six Sigma, Kanban systems, Poka-yokes, or other improvements. Ideally, everyone should be scheduled for one full day of making improvements if this is the method you prefer. Keep in mind that if you are seeking to implement POL systems, you will need a full day for many of the changes. In a POL system, your plant layout may need to be adjusted, cells created, or Kanbans implemented. This time is important because if you don't have it, you will have a great deal of unfinished improvements sitting around and a production schedule that might be impacted. Keep in mind that as you develop your improvement team, schedule, and the resources that they may need, you still need to produce value for your customers. So be sure that you are able to do that. With this in mind, we'd like to ask you a question that you can answer in the comments section or the upcoming assignment section of this model. What types of schedule do you think would work best for making improvements in your organization? We look forward to hearing from you, and we will see you in the next module. When you're making daily improvements, you need to ensure that everyone has improvements every day. One of the most valuable things that you can do to ensure there is something to improve every day is to help people learn to see waste. When this occurs, people can go for daily Gemba walks or even observe the operations in their department each day and find opportunities to improve. Keeping track of these improvement opportunities is a whole nother story. One great way to capture improvement opportunities is to go for a Gemba walk at the Gemba and take with you the Tim Woods template. As you walk the factory, you can document the forms of waste that you see and then include possible improvements too. If you do this daily, you will gather quite a few opportunities that can drive your improvement journey. Another option is to take the opportunities you discover and transfer them to a Kaizen paper. Your Kaizen paper can include the date, the person who found the opportunity, the owner of the improvement, the root cause, the countermeasure, the estimated date of completion, and the actual date of completion. Keep in mind, though, that if you find something that you can improve quickly, you should just improve it. Do not create projects out of everything. Quick improvements that are small and simple yield large results over time. Your improvement list should be updated regularly, as it will help drive your improvement and POL system journey. Another very easy way to gather an improvement list is to go to the Gemba daily and let the team develop a list of all the improvements they find. A general place to start is with an improvement number, name, description, area, any contacts associated with the improvement, and a deadline. This list can help guide your improvement journey when implementing a POL system. Your list should include the steps that are necessary to completely implement pull in the chosen section. Now, before we go, we'd like to ask you a question that you can answer in the comments section or the upcoming assignments section. What ways can you think of to capture improvements? We look forward to reading your answers, and we'll see you in the next module. One of the most common questions regarding improvements in continuous improvement is, where will I find the majority of my improvements? In this module, we will address this question. Let's jump in. When you think about improvements and where they occur, the answer is quite broad. Improvements can be found in the office, on the factory floor, inside computer systems, and just about everywhere. But the majority of your improvements will be driven on the front lines at the Gemba. The Gemba is the actual place where transformation and value creation occurs. When these frontline employees are trained in identifying waste and given the power to find and remove waste, you will find that great change can occur. Since these individuals create value as well as drive improvements, it can be very helpful for the people at the Gemba to have time set aside to make improvements. This will give the people at the Gemba time to monitor improvements and report on them as changes occur. It's been said that more than 90% of your improvements will be driven from these frontline employees. With this amount of change driven directly from the front employees, you want to make sure they are trained to see and identify waste, root it out, fix problems, and that they are given time to do so. The last thing you want to have is frontline workers searching around for things to improve and not finding success. Remember, some changes will take longer than others, and some improvements may be done right on the spot. Depending on the amount of time each improvement takes, you may consider finding a way to schedule more strategic improvements. Now, before we go, we'd like to ask you a question that you can answer in the comments section or in the upcoming assignment section of this course. Where in your place of work do you think you could find the most opportunities to improve at? We look forward to reviewing your answers, and we'll see you in the next module. Kaizen is one of the most powerful ways to make change. Simply put, Kaizen means continuous improvement. The Kaizen event has many different timelines and formats that can be adapted to any organization's needs. The most common Kaizen event is 1 week. These events bring together frontline workers, experts, and sometimes outside coaches that help to make the improvements. The events are planned out and follow the PDCA format and often include specific goals and objectives. Kaizen events are generally used when implementing pull systems and shifting from functional manufacturing layouts to cellular manufacturing layouts. You may have also heard of the term Kaizen Blitz. Blitzes are a rapid improvement event that can be done in 10 minutes, half a day, a full day, or even shorter if need be. They are designed to make fast improvements or impact an opportunity or an issue very quickly. Regardless of the timeline, Kaizens generally require planning and attention to detail, especially with regards to finding and removing the 8 forms of waste. Keep in mind that however you decide to put aside time for implementing pull or improving an area, people must understand that Kaizen is a requirement in their jobs. As such, a culture of Kaizen and a mindset of problem solving are very critical. One important thing to note is that people will need time for Kaizen and Kaizen maintenance. Now, let's keep moving forward and learning how to implement pull and improvements. See you in the next module.